Hello and welcome to Atomic Reviews. Today I'm going to be doing Goldeneye for the Wii, but before I do that I'm going to do a little history on me and Goldeneye and James Bond in general. Goldeneye was one of the first games I remember playing right after Super Mario World. Super Mario World was a big part of my Christmas, but the very next Christmas, or next, no, it wouldn't be the very next. One of the next Christmases. Um, our Christmas, we got an N64 Goldeneye, which I still have from that Christmas. As you can tell, it's pretty dirty, but it still works. Um, Never getting rid of that. And we also got a box set of James Bond. Prior to this, I had seen Goldeneye, and I had never seen a James Bond film, and I didn't want to watch it because I had played the game and I loved the game, but I didn't want to watch the movie. I don't know why. I guess I was just being a brat or something. But I remember watching it and loving it. So that's why Goldeneye, even though it may not be the best Bond film, it's always going to be number 5 on my top 10 James Bond list, or top 5. It's always going to be number 5 just for sentimental value. But not doing that today. Today we're talking about Goldeneye for the Wii. When I first heard of the remake, I was very excited. When they said Daniel Craig would be playing the Bond, I was indifferent. I didn't really care because obviously the Bond in the original didn't even talk. But I didn't have a Wii, and I'm an Xbox and PS3 junkie. My fiance, however, wanted a Wii for Christmas, and I thought, she's been wanting that for years. This may be the year I can go for it because now there's something in it for me because I'm not into the motion stuff. Well, I got this game going on a week ago, and I beat it on operative difficulty, no problem. But that's not where the game shines. In fact, I'm pretty sure Game Informer gave it such a bad review because they played it on the operative difficulty, and they probably played it with the Wiimote and the nunchuck. When I got it, I played for about 20 minutes using just the Wiimote and the nunchuck. I hate it. I hate it on any game. I don't like holding it out. It starts to hurt my wrist. I am a thumb guy. So I went to GameStop and I bought. I read in the instruction manual that a GameCube controller works with it, so I got this. And while this was fine, the buttons don't make sense. Right here is how you aim. This is how you fire. That makes sense. Here's how you melee. With melee, you have to hold down this button and hit B. So you have to hold and hit B. When you're playing multiplayer, that won't work. To see the scoreboard, which doesn't stay on, you have to hold it. Hold down this, hold down Z, and hit A. That doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. I don't know why they thought to do that on a GameCube controller. Also, the D-pad on the GameCube controller, it'll go its own way. So, whereas it worked fine, and I was doing a lot better than I was with the Wiimote, a couple days... Actually, no, today. Was it today? Was it today that I got the Classic Pro? No, it was yesterday. Got it yesterday. I went and got this. This game shines with this controller. If you play this game with this controller, that's what it was intended for. Which makes sense because that is that comes with the special edition of this game. It's a gold one, which I'm probably going to be getting. I know a place that has 2 of them and they're not going anywhere. So, the buttons for this: aim, shoot. Makes sense. To melee, that's it. Don't have to hold anything down. To throw a grenade, whereas on the GameCube controller, to throw a grenade, you had to hit the Y button. It makes sense. You couldn't move while doing it. You couldn't look. That brings up the scoreboard, and it's just is eons better. The D-pad is not faulty at all. Much better. Totally improved the game by a lot. And I'm pretty sure Game Informer, IGN just praised this game, whereas Game Informer beat it down pretty hard. I don't understand that. I think Game Informer was just expecting too much. I didn't really think they were expecting a reboot, remake, as much as they were expecting a big nostalgic feel. Really, the nostalgic feeling wears off after the first level when you get this really cool opening. After that, the game goes into its own world where each level is a remake of the other levels completely, but it just has a much different feeling after the first. So, with that said, I'm going to go into the pros and cons of this game. Start with the pros. The pros of this game, it is just great to go back to Goldeneye in the first place. Goldeneye was a staple in my young age, so it was great to relive it with the whole Casino Royale gritty feeling to it. The voice acting is great. I don't care what anyone says, Bond was not monotone. He was just how he's supposed to be. He's professional and clear. I love how they redid every single character. I thought that was great. Also, Alec Trevelyan, side note, looks exactly like Heath Ledger. I don't get that. It's not a bad thing, but it looks just like Heath Ledger. General Orumov looks way different. Xena Onatop looks different and is completely different in the character. Natalia Simonova, she looks different as well. They all do. I'm repeating myself, but she's also much less annoying than she was in the movie. More pros. The multiplayer is great. I'm not going to say it puts Call of Duty to shame because everyone here will comment and spam me, but I like it more than Call of Duty. Not because it's Bond, because it feels better. I'm not a big fan of the holding breath for sniping, even though I love that it's realistic. Don't get me wrong. In a game like Call of Duty, you're influencing such a realistic aspect, yet at the same time, you have such unrealistic tendencies in that game, so it doesn't really balance. But in GoldenEye, the snipers are one-hit kill no matter where you hit, and I like that. That seems more realistic than Call of Duty, where I can shoot you 4 times. But I'm not going to compare this to Call of Duty all day, because that was a problem firsthand. But the multiplayer is great, it has great experience, and it does borrow from Call of Duty. It's made by Activision. Instead of perks, you have gadgets. And it really works. It works well. And it'll keep you entertained for a long time because I'm really looking forward to unlocking Team License to Kill and Classic Conflict, which Team License to Kill is basically hardcore team deathmatch, and Classic Conflict is where you get to play as the Bond characters in a game of free-for-all. Like Odd Job. Odd Job can actually throw his hat still. The cons. There's a lot of them, but a lot of them are small, and they're not going to influence too heavily. Cons are there's really no reward for anything. Like, I'm on the last level of 007 Classic, but I know once I beat it that I will unlock nothing. The grenades in multiplayer are very laggy. If multiplayer is not laggy, but the grenades are. Very much so. It's like when you throw one, it's either going to go lower than you expected or to the left of what you expect. I don't know. It's odd. Of all the remakes of the levels, there's only one level that I really don't like compared to the original. And it was the snow level. If you remember in the GoldenEye snow level, you basically had this big open level, and you went to different buildings and did different objectives, but it was all open. That was actually my favorite level of the game. It was fun, and I like snow for some reason. But it was really fun. Whereas in this one, it's just a trek. Just a trek. Straight. And it's the first part of it's sneaky. Second part of it, you're killing everybody. It wasn't really anything in between. Really, there's not a lot of cons. Most of it's very little stuff. Game Informer was harping on the fact that when you reload, it blurs out the rest and that you can't line up your next shot. But what they don't mention is that the dot is still in the middle of the screen, and you can line up your next shot from that. I don't understand the problem. They were saying the graphics are really bad. Really, the only spot where the graphics show horribly is when they're, if you remember the one of the big scenes in the movie where he drops in on the guy on the bathroom and says, "Beg your pardon, forgot to knock," and kills him. That part's still in the game, and there's a mirror, and the game looks fine. I'm coming off of an Xbox 360 here, and just for this game, and the game looks fine. But when you look in the mirror, it is the most pixelated mess of Daniel Craig. It really stood out as bad. Other than that, I don't really see much. The AI is, they're not dumb. They're not the smartest, but they're not dumb. Once you get to 007 Classic, they like to throw grenades a lot, but other than that, some not too bad. But I'm really enjoying the game. I'm about to beat it on 007 Classic. Game Informer also said that the boss fight is terrible, which I totally disagree with. The boss fight was fun. And, I mean, I'm not trying to harp on the Classic here, but do you remember the original boss fight of GoldenEye? You drop down and smack him in the face, and that's it. Whereas in this one, you have a big button mashing fight. It was pretty fun, and which ends with you doing a quick draw to shoot him. I like that. I don't see the big deal here. Sniping is really fun in multiplayer, by the way. But yeah, pretty much I don't judge this game harshly, and I'm not judging it as a nostalgic nerd either. I'm judging it simply as what it is. It's a great game, and I had my speculations about it, considering right when it came out, IGN went crazy on it, and they're very biased. So I waited for Game Informer, and they trashed it. So I had mixed feelings going into it, but it's actually really good. Oh, one of the very small cons. The song, Goldeneye, has been resung. And I'll leave it at that. If you're going to play the game, I'll just leave it at that. It's not horrible, but it is different. Other than that, I'm going to give this game a... You know what? I'll agree with IGN. It's a 9.0, easy. Because I don't see a lot of things wrong with it. Side note, if you're going to comment, I have not played the split screen because I have no friends around here that have time to come over and play the Wii. But from what I hear, split screen is great. But for now, I'll be playing multiplayer. If any of my Xbox friends see this, this is why I've been offline for so long. I've been playing the mess out of GoldenEye. So with that said, I'm going to give it a 9.0, same as IGN gave it. And this will also be a 9.0. That's right, I'm making them even, because they're two totally different games. Just this one is based on that one. You're never going to compare Batman Begins Joker or the Dark Knight Joker to Jack Nicholson Joker. In fact, everyone did that, but you shouldn't. They're totally different feelings, and that's what this is. Totally different feeling, but great to go back and relive the original. But if I have to say my biggest flaw with it before leaving, I have to say I think the reward for beating this game on 007 Classic should unlock this campaign. And that's it. 9 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed this Atomic review, and Bond will return in the next review where I do top 10 James Bond films, and then top 10 James Bond games, or actually just listing all the games, best to worst to best, best to worst. And I'm also going to be doing the most comfortable controller. And that's all in the upcoming weeks. Hope you enjoyed.